Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry. It's your boy Karagol Gaming, and you know how we do things around here. So I looked up a couple of things in between episodes. It's a new day, it's a new session, and it looks like page down might be the continue button. So let's try it out, shall we? Maybe we can get rid of the mouse. It was a fun-filled, crazy day. Yes! Nice. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly. Another thing I looked up. Apparently if you press P, you can switch between new and old sprites, and I have no idea what... I don't know, is this the new one or the old one? I have no idea, but let's press P. Nothing happened. Good times. Alright.
Mio, 今日はありがとな。楽しかったぜ。
Satsuko and Rika-chan went home as well. We parted ways with Mion, and it ended with just Rena and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home.
ケイチ君も今日は付き合ってくれてありがとう。楽しかった？
ああ、楽しかった。まだ家に帰るのが惜しいくらいだぜ。
あ、じゃあさ、ちょっとだけ寄り道してもいいかな？
寄り道？遠いのか？
ちょっと歩くけどすぐ済むから。
Since we had been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Rena, I quietly nodded. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. A large heap of garbage spread out off towards the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper.
今日は久しぶりだから。
久しぶりって、レナのようは、ゴミの山かよ。
ゴミじゃないよ。レナにとっては宝の山だもん。
Rena had already entered that well-known Kyute mode of hers. So that meant there was something Kyute here.
わあ、新しい山だ。ワクワク、ワクワク。
Okay, calm your tits down, Jimmy 2 times. She descended the unstable slope with ease. I would expect no less from a born and bred country girl.
おい、待てよ。今行くから。あったたたた。
My city-raised self was completely pitiful.
いいよ、ケイチ君はそこにいて。すぐ済むから。
Rena kindly declined my accompaniment. Accompaniment is the first time I've ever said that word.
転ぶなよ。足元に気をつけろよ。
大丈夫だよ、大丈夫。全然平気。
Just say you decline my company or some shit. Literally bounding among the heaps of trash, Rena disappeared from sight. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Rena around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around. Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. He spied over at me through his camera. His body was tanned and fit, but something about him seemed unreliable, and he had a bit of an aloof air about him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case.
おっと、びっくりした。
Although startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line.
驚いたのはこっちですよ。
ごめん。驚かすつもりはなかったんだ。君はHinamizawaの人かい？
I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious gaze, he introduced himself without my prompting.
僕は富武。フリーのカメラマンさ。Hinamizawaにはたまに来るんだ。
I didn't ask you who you were, motherfucker.
写真ってのは被写体に断ってから撮るのが礼儀なんじゃないんすかね。
ごめんごめん。メインは野鳥の撮影でね。断った試しがないんだよ。
So what? You saying I'm the same as the birds?
いやいや、夕闇に黄昏る少年があまりにも絵になっていたんでね。本人の許可を取らずにファインダーを覗いたことを謝るよ。
Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Rena would come back soon. But this older guy, Tomitake-san, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself.
ケイチくん、待たせてごめんね。もう終わりにするから。
Rena popped her head from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand.
連れがいたのかい？お、彼女はあんなところで何をしているんだい？
None of your business, that's what. That's what I wanted to know.
さあね、昔起こった殺人事件の死体でも探してるんじゃないですか。
Tomitake-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh. I responded like I would if I were talking with Rena and the others.
嫌な事件だったね。まだ見つかってないんだろ？
What the fuck?
ケイチくんお待たせ。もっとかな、
馬に蹴られる前に退散するかな。驚かせてすまなかったね、ケイイチ君。
Tomitake's-san chortled suggestively and disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit.
ケイチくん怒ってる？どうしてだろう。
It wasn't Rena's fault, so I decided to just brush it off for now.
どうだった？掘り出し物は見つかったか？
聞いて。あのね、あったの。ランディくん人形。
ランディ君人形ってあれか？ファーストフードの店の前に必ず置いてあるあの等身大人形の？
そう、ランディくん。かわいい。お持ち帰りしたい。
I couldn't tell how she decided what's cute or not, but, well, she seems to want it.
あれはゴミだろ。お持ち帰りしたきゃしてもいいんだぜ。
他の山の下敷きになってるの。簡単には掘り出せないし、あそこ明かりがないからすぐ暗くなっちゃうし。
Rena seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back. Well, the thing is gonna be there tomorrow as well, you know?
俺も手伝ってやるよ。今日のうまかった弁当の恩返しってことでさ。
ありがとう。
Birds heading home to roost proclaim that nightfall will soon be upon us.
ケイチくんが手伝ってくれる。ランディくんをお持ち帰りできる。
Rena staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery state.
なあレナ、あそこで昔なんかあったのか？
ダムの工事をやってたんだってね。詳しく知らないけど。
例えばさ、工事中になんかあったとか、事故とか。
知らない。
Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. I must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Rena quickly lightened her expression.
実はね、去年までよそに住んでたの。
え、レナも転校生だったのか？俺はてっきり。
だからね、それ以前のことはよく知らないの。ごめんね。
I don't really know, don't want to talk about it. That's the kind of feeling she gave me. Thinking about it, of course it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident, and they still haven't found one of the arms. If it's just like Tomitake-san said, then I had a feeling only the Higurashi would know. Alright. Let's go ahead and save our game again. Right there. Close you and view new tips. The Maibara Manor.
ケイちゃんってさ、すごいお金持ちってわけでもないの？
なんだよ突然。俺がいつ高級車で投稿したよ。
月の小遣いはいくらもらってる
？1000円。
Stay out of my pockets.
結構小市民的ですのね。
You're a plebeian amount.
お弁当のおかずも普通ですよ。お金持ちじゃないです。
What the fuck are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get and then told that's a plebeian amount?
ごめんね、ごめんね。
Brenna seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling her ass off.
ケイちゃんちってさ、すっごく大きいでしょ？だから建築中からひなみざわ中で前原屋敷って呼ばれて注目の的だったんだよ。
Maibara Manor?
あんなに大きいお家だからどんなお金持ちなのかなってみんなで噂し合ってたの。
I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
私の推理ではお家を建てるのにお金をかけすぎて貧乏になってしまったと考えてますのよ。貧乏でかわいそうかわいそうです。
Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar.
諸君らの楽しい想像をぶち壊すようで悪いが、うちは金持ちでも貧乏でもないぞ。極めて平均的な。
あれだけ大きな家は普通とは言わないって。しかも玄関は立派で門は大型車も入れるようになってるし、絶対普通じゃないって。
They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio is in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. And for those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people and cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is the one for studio and is normally sealed off. The entranceway the Maibara family actually uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
ぜひ今度ケイちゃんの家を探検してみたいよな。一体何が隠されているのか。かいいものが隠されてるといいな。きっと家具を買うお金もなくなってて殺風景な部屋がいっぱいなのですわ。絨毯のお部屋ならぜひゴロゴロしてみたいですよ。
What is wrong with you?
それいいね、それいいね。レナもゴロゴロしたい。
Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. The fuck? The cry of Higurashi Crescon. What? Is that supposed to be crescendoed? The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed? As the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. From the June XX 1979 edition. The Shishibone City Okinoyama police station, June whatever, it's late at night. Suspects, a whole lot of X's, were arrested on the suspicion of improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, quadruple X, has been added to the wanted list nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the whatever at 9 p.m. where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. Huh. 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. Quadruple X. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is ongoing.
ランディ君人形？ああ、そりゃレナのツボだわな。
レナがサトコやリカちゃんをお持ち帰りしたくなるのはわかる。だがランディ君人形だけは理解できないぞ。あんなメガネ親父。
そりゃレナに直接聞けばいいじゃん。どうせだって会員だもんしか言わ。
レナはよくあそこ工事現場のとこへ宝探しに行くのか？
ちょくちょく見に行くって言ってましたです。
しかし年頃の女の子がゴミあさりね。
レナが楽しいならいいんだと思いますです。
あそこはなんだよ。ダムの工事現場だったのか？
It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch.
何年か前に中止になっちゃったけどね。みんなで力を合わせて戦いましたです。
Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me.
そうそう、何しろとんでもない話だったんだよ。Hinamizawaが丸ごとダム湖に沈むことに一方的になってさ。
So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded?
ごめんねごめんね、待たせちゃったかな。申し訳ありませんわね、ケイチさん。お化粧直しに時間をかけちゃいまして。
That explains a lot, you fucking cocaine-ridden bastard.
サトコ、便所には溜めてから行け。一気に出せて楽で早いぞ。
花も恥じらう乙女になんて口の利き方。
Who was she calling a maiden? If Satoko was really a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued.
さてと、今日は快速に乗っ取り部員の諸君に是非を問いたい。彼、前原圭一君を新たな部員として我らの部活動に加えたいのだが、いかがだろうか。レナは異議なし。近隣風情が私の相手を務められるかしら。僕もサトコも賛成しますですよ。
I changed my mind, I don't want to be a part of this. The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval.
全会一致。おめでとう、前原圭一君。君に栄えある我が部への入部試験を許可する。
順を追って説明しろ。俺はまだ入るとは言ってないぞ。何の部活だ？
我が部はだな。複雑化する社会に対応するため、活動ごとに提案される様々な条件下、時には準教、あるいは逆境からいかにして。レナは弱いからいじめないでほしいな。仲良くやろう。レナさんは甘えてますわ。弱い者は食い尽くされるのが世の常なのでございますわよ。
This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it?
つまりみんなでゲームして遊ぶ部活なのです。
Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically this quote-unquote club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use by playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. It seemed that depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in the last place.
先に断っとくけど、ママ一生いっぱいに命がかかってるくらい本気でかかった方がいいよ。
楽しくやれればいいじゃないか。そう凄むなよ。
快速第一条、
狙うのは1位のみ。遊びだからなんていういい加減なプレーは許さない。
快速第2条。そのためにはあらゆる努力をすることが義務付けられておりますのよ。
The way Satoko said it, it sounded like she was saying use any means necessary.
もちろん僕も頑張りますです。レナも弱いけどね、精一杯頑張ってるの。
I knew what the fuck they were trying to say. They were trying to hustle me. In a game where everybody is aiming to the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun.
よし、俺も本気でやってやるぜ。
And with that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club.
ケイちゃんに一応忠告ね。レナも結構えげつないからね。
This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine.
難しいゲームはケイちゃんだけに不利だからね。今日は誰にでもわかるゲームにしよう。スタンダードにトランプのジジ抜きはどう？
よし、受けてやるぜ。
やっぱり罰ゲームがないと燃えないよね。今回はビリに顔面落書きの刑。どう？
わあ、油性じゃないよね。油性じゃないよね。
Permanent? She wants to draw on her face with a permanent marker?
上等でございますわ。
Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If it was going to be like this, then I can't lose either.
じゃあカード切ってみんなに配るね。
Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as the Old Maid. I haven't heard of either of these games. There is only one difference. There is no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, which means there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game.
じゃあ1枚抜くね。
Okay, I hear game. I hear you. Mion took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently.
ま、終盤になればおのずとわかるし、最初はどうしようもないよな。
But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be.
このトランプ、結構傷物だろ？まさか、みんなにはその傷で、そこに伏せたカードが分かってる？
I would assume so.
快速第2条ですわ。ケイチさんも勝つために最善の努力をなさいませ。いくつかのカードは特徴的だから、ケイチ君にもすぐ覚えられるよ。
She said that so matter-of-factly.
上等だぜ！この程度でハンデになると思うなよ！
I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious that I was at a disadvantage here. After all, they had gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor, oh no no. If this was a test, then they were playing with the answer sheet right in front of them! Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game! That baseless confidence would soon be crushed.
ケイちゃんの手札を右から言うぜ。3、4、9、ジャック、クイーン。
ぐわー！
ちなみに、ジジはダイヤの J なのです。
うわ
どうカードを入れ替えたって見え見えですわ。上がりですな。
ー！ぐわー！
What the fuck is going on? I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming.
鬼だ。こいつらは鬼だ。
That's it, we're starting over with a brand new deck of cards.
レナは 鬼じゃないよな。
ごめんねケイチくん。
She's probably the worst one of them all.
こっちがハートの3だよね。あがり。
Not even a hint of mercy. Rena, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a deathmatch on a deserted island, these guys would probably take to it like fish to water. Damn. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates in a fucking brutal game of battle royale.
ポイントは減点制ね。着順がそのままマイナス点。トータルで一番少ない人が優勝。
ではケイチはビリなので5です。
Neat. There's already a 5 mark down on my scorecard.
やっぱりさ、綺麗なトランプでやらないと。
Finally somebody said
ケイチ
it.
くんに不公平だよ。
Finally somebody said it.
いいのいいの。ケイちゃんだって男だし。これくらいの逆境は跳ね返せるよね。
貧民風情は逃げ帰って涙で枕を濡らすのがお似合いでございますことよ。
A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's.
ファイト、おーです。
Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Rena said, several of the cards have their own distinct markings. It's just as Rena said, several of the cards have their own distinct markings, making them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory.
うわ、うまいよケイチくん。その調子。
I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands or the other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen.
角が割れているのは5だったはずです。上がりましたです。
I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me.
欲しいのは7なんだが、これかな。
さてどうかしら。聞いてみないとわかりませんことよ。
There was a bit of dismay in her expression. Like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me.
見えた！これだ！
Got it! 7 of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out.
なんですって7は一番わかりにくいはずですのに。
It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting a card were enough.
ほらケイちゃん隠さない。この傷が確かダイヤの2だったよね。あれ？
I made that mark just now, bitch! She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too.
ああ、みーちゃんがカード間違えるなんて珍しいね。
ケイちゃん、あんたまさか。
They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch, so I put a new one on it!
ダイヤの2を偽装したというですの？味な真似をするでございますわ。ケイチ、一矢報いましたです。やったねケイチくん。大前線だよ。
Having defeated the Forerunner Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haftily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves.
まあビリは確定だけどさ、最後にミオンから1本取れたから
That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory.
この回仮にケイちゃんが1着になってもトータルビリが確定するんだけど、
当たり前だ。
一騎打ちしようよ。ワンチャンス。勝てたらケイちゃん1位で私ビリの大逆転なんてどう？
She fell
乗
for
るでしょ？
it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it.
ワンチャンスだと？ルールを説明しろ。
Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, and then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back.
右手のカードと左手のカードどっちがジョーカーか当てたらケイちゃんの勝ち。
今後ろに回した時ジョーカーを抜いたってことはないだろうな。
ケイちゃんが負けたら反対の手のカードも公開するよ。それなら OK でしょ。
The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of
よ
events.
し乗ってやる。
Mion grasps 1 card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was.
どっちだろう。ケイチくん、慎重にね。
ああもちろんだぜ。逆転の大チャンスだ。
Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't the one I hadn't seen before.
あのカードは。
I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. And since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker.
ケイちゃんは右のカードを疑ってる。じゃあ右にする？右？
The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide solely on Satoko's reaction? More carefully. I remember now! The mark, the left card, no doubt about it! The 7 of clubs.
うん、きっとクローバーの7だね。
I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker. And then, just before my hand touched the right card, I froze.
さすがミオンだよ。
There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker.
ケイチさんは何を言ってるのでございましょう。だって左。C です。
へえ、ケイちゃんはどうして右がジョーカーじゃないって確信できるの？
Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled.
右のカードが何かは俺にもわからないさ。だが左のカードがクローバーの7だってことだけはわかる。
じゃあ残る右のカードがジョーカーなのじゃありませんこと？必ず左右どっちかがジョーカーという約束でしょ？
ああ、左右のどっちかにジョーカーがあるのは本当だろうな。
ケイチは勘がいいです。リカちゃん、それってどういう？
つまりさ、クローバーの7、さっき俺がサトコのスペードの7と合わせて捨てたカードなんだよ。
Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile.
つまりミオンは捨て札を1枚拾って左のカードに重ねている。つまり
そうか、わかった。左のカードをクローバーの7に見せかけているんだね。
It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I did not let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly.
ジョーカーは左手だ。
It was a very intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion.
初代部長として 私も様々なプレイングを見てきたけど、ケイちゃん、あんたはベストオブザベストオブザベスト。
That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory. Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory.
リカちゃんか？
Rena and Sadako gaped at us as if they had seen a ghost.
なんだよレナ、別に俺はインチキしてないだろ。正々堂々と。
リカは慰める時にしか頭を撫でませんの。
Oh no. What's the meaning of... At that moment, Rena let out a small shriek.
ケイチくん、こんなことって。
ケイちゃんならさ、ここまで読んでくれると思ってたよ。
Get the fuck out of here with this anime bullshit. Everyone froze. No, it was actually just me.
賭けだった。ケイちゃんがおてんばさんの早とちりだったなら、負けてたのは私だった。
It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand.
ケイちゃんはさ、この負けを誇っていいよ。
She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable! It was the 2 of diamonds! It was a setup behind the setup! If I had just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it.
部長、園崎ミオンの名において。
But that's cheating. It wasn't the whole game 2 cards? You had 3 cards.
前原圭一、あんたの我が部への入部を許可する。
As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everybody let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat.
これにて決着。本日の優勝は私、園崎ミオン。栄えあるビリは前原圭一。
Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing.
みーちゃんが後ろ手で細工した時、またやるんだって思ってドキドキしちゃった。ケイチさんが正解に触れる直前で止まった時にはかかったって思いましたわ。見事に引っかかってくれましたです。
Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly?
楽しくなるようにみんなで盛り上げましたですよ。
You...
お前らみんな鬼だ。人手なし。
さて、ケイちゃんに罰ゲームだね。今日は部活の初日だしね。ソフトに行こうかね。いきなり登校拒否になられちゃ困るし。
The 3 other members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, and it's a giant permanent one?
さて、行くよ。
She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly to my face while I was immobilized.
やめろ。
I let out my death throes. As soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cutie Colonel Randy she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. I thought you were gonna help her with that though.
宝の山か。捨ててる連中もまさかレナに感謝されてるとは夢にも思わないだろうね。
Mountain of Treasure, meaning that dam construction site from before. No, right. Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberments that seemed to have happened there.
あそこさ、ダムの工事現場なんかあったんだろ昔。
そりゃあったよ、戦いが。座り込みやったりデモをやったり。
It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I figured I would just listen the same.
自分たちの土地がダム湖に沈むんだもんな。俺だって戦うだろうな。
役人どもは本当に一方的だった。偉そうで威張ってた。金で解決できないと悟ると、あらゆる嫌がらせをしてきたんだよ。いやらしい奴らだった。
Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her.
よく勝てたな。相手は国だろ。
村長や村の有力者たちがね、東京にも行ったし、いろんな政治家に根回しもした。そうしてるうちに計画は撤回されたんだよ。私たちの完全勝利だった。
暴力沙汰とかにはならなかったのか？傷害事件とか殺人。
なかった。
She promptly cut me off. The same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitaki-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. Actually, that's not what he said. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. He didn't specify how many arms. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside.
じゃあね、また明日ね。ケイちゃんそれ、うちに帰るまで消しちゃダメだからね。
わかってるよ。消さねえよ。
Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Damn you, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our roles were ever reversed, I'm going to go all out. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. And I think this is a pretty good spot to call it an episode, maybe. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I don't know, it seems like whenever that little logo pops up, that's like a good place to do it. But the game just keeps shifting to another scene and it just keeps going. So I think we're gonna call it an episode right here. And next episode, we're gonna see what our mom's reaction to the dicks on our faces are, you know? Until then, this has been your boy Karagol Gaming. I'm out of here. Love y'all and do. Sees.